5,000 naira in 2023, would you still be selling it at 5,000 naira in 2025? So cost of ads have gone up, but we are not really willing to spend more because we feel I'm not making more. Why should I spend more? The competition has increased. And remember that when you're running meta ads, it's all about competition. How many people are bidding for the ad? How many people are trying to pay for the same slots that you are paying for? And that affects the cost of the ad. So the truth is that meta ads have not actually become harder. They have just become less forgiving. There are some things that you would have done 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, and you get away with it. But if you do it now, you can't get away with it. Why? Because the algorithm has become smarter. For instance, you can get away with average creative. Your creative may not be that great, but you target, and then you still get decent results. But that margin for error no longer exists. If your creative is not good enough, if you are still insisting on targeting yourself, you're trying to target by yourself in 2026, it's going to be harder for you because the algorithm is now saying, look, don't target, just give us a general idea of who your audience should be. And that general idea should be happening in your creative. So there are lots of things that you could have gotten away with 6 years ago, which you can't get away with anymore. These days, Meta prefers clarity and they punish confusion. So if you're not clear about what you want to do, if you are producing content that is confused, then adverts will not be easy for you to run. Because what the ad does is to expose what has not been done properly from the beginning. Remember that for every ad, there has to be a creative. So if your creative is not good, the ad will just say, oh, bad creative. If your offer is weak, the ad will just say, oh, okay, your offer is weak, or nobody's going to buy. But will they take your money? Yes, because you asked them to take your money. So if you are one of those thinking that meta ads have become harder to do in 2026, like I said, you are not imagining it. But the reason is not because the algorithm or the platform is against you. It is because what you are doing is no longer enough. It's an uncomfortable truth, but that is the truth. What you are doing is no longer enough for the platform. The platform has evolved, and you are not evolving with the platform. It's much like in a marriage. Two people get married and they are at the same point when they got married. And then suddenly, one begins to work harder. Maybe it becomes more sophisticated. Maybe it gets higher education, gets more sophisticated. And it's now in a much different place than when the marriage started. Then you start seeing cracks. Would you say that the problem is the marriage? No, there's nothing wrong with the marriage institution. What is wrong is the people who are in that marriage. And that is the same thing that is happening with Meta and its platforms. There's really nothing wrong with the platform. There's just something wrong with the way we have chosen to continue using the platform. And so during this webinar, we are going to look at the biggest mistakes that we are making that we should not carry into 2026. We have to leave those mistakes in 2025, right? And then as we enter 2026, we don't enter with those mistakes. And what are those mistakes? Are we ready to talk about the mistakes? Cool. Right. So we are going to talk about the mistakes now. What are those mistakes? What are the biggest mistakes that business owners make? And the number one mistake that we have seen business owners make when it comes to running ads is that they run ads before they are ready to run ads. You might say, what does that even mean? They run ads before they are ready to run ads. So what does it take to be ready to run an ad? Most business owners say, I'm not selling, let me run an ad. Or I'm not visible, people don't know I exist, let me run an ad, they will show me to more people. Or where I am now, I want to grow, so let me run ad, that will help me to grow. You see, these three reasons, let me ask first, has any of you used any of these three reasons? Has any of this been the reason you run ads? I'm going to look at let me look at the messages now. Have any of you run ads for any of these reasons? I want to grow, so you run ads, or I want to make more sales, so you run ads, or I'm not selling, let me run ads. Aha, thank you. Yes, I can see. That is basically the reason a lot of us run ads. But here is the problem with those reasons that we have just given for why we run ads. Meta ads should not be run primarily for those reasons, because ads don't create demand. Please take note of this. It's very important. Ads don't create demand. So if you're saying, I want to grow, let me run ads. Ads don't create demands. Ads don't fix broken messaging. And ads don't replace strategy. And this is what the biggest mistake that business owners make, is that they want to use ads to create demand. They want to use ads to replace broken messaging. That is, your messaging is not clear to start with, and then you run ads. And you don't have a strategy for sales, but you are running ads. What ads will do is to accelerate decisions that are already primed. So what do we mean by this? I'm going to give you examples to show what I really mean by saying that if you have been running ads for those reasons, then you have been running ads for the wrong reasons. If you want to use ads to increase your sales, the first thing you would have already done is that you would have made a creative. Maybe in that creative, you are trying to sell something. How many people have bought from you based on your organic content? Have you made any sales based on the organic content that you created? Do you think that the reason you have not made sales with your organic content is because nobody has seen it? That is where the problem begins. Because let me explain to you what happens with organic content these days. And it has nothing to do with how many followers you have or don't have. That's another big mistake that business owners make. They say, I don't have enough followers, that's why. No. When you create your content and post it, this is what happens. The algorithm, first of all, shows it to about 20 people. Depending on how those 20 people, and these 20 people are not necessarily your followers, depending on how those 20 people react to your content, the algorithm pushes it to another 20, then another 20, and on like that. If the first 20 people, at least 20 to 30% of them watch the first 3 seconds of your content, the algorithm will push it to more people. What does that mean? 20 people, 20% of 20, is that not 4? Yes, 4 to 6 people. If they show your content to 20 people and 6 people stop and watch 3 seconds, 4 to 6 people stop to watch 3 seconds, they will show it to more people. So if you are having low number of people stopping to watch for the first 3 seconds, that your content will just die a natural death. And what do you think will happen if 6 people out of 20 have not watched your content organically, and now you decide to put money on it? What do you think will happen? Do you think that magically people will suddenly start watching that content because you put money on it? No. The reason the algorithm tests with such a small number of people is to show you clearly that when you look at your numbers, you can now decide what has worked and what has not. If 20% of people have not watched your first 20 seconds, or your first 2 to 3 seconds, then it means that that content should not be scaled. The message was not clear, the offer was not clear, and the journey did not make sense. And this is where we begin to make mistakes, because we don't even look at the numbers to see what the numbers are saying to us. And I'm going to just quickly show you an example of what I mean. And I'm sure that if you have posted, if you have ever posted a reel on Instagram, you would have seen something like this. Okay, right. You would have seen something like this. Go to your reels and you'll see this. And you see something like this. This curve here, that is a curve that tells you what has and has not happened in your ad. This is a curve that should determine what you should do next. Just look at it. As you go down this curve, you will see how many people have watched at each point. If you get to the first 3 seconds and you don't see at least 20% to 30% of the total number of people who have viewed that content, then please do not scale it, because that ad will not work. If you do not take anything else out of this webinar that we are doing today, take this particular point. Always go and check this curve. It is called the retention curve. What the retention curve does is that it tells you how many people are staying to watch your content and how many people are leaving. It tells you exactly when they leave, when most people leave. So you have done a content and you go and look at your retention curve and you see a sharp drop. This is not a good example of a sharp drop because this is a content that actually retains people. But sometimes you will just see that there is a sharp drop. And let me see if I can find one like that. Because the truth is that even I have created content that tanked. There's nobody who has not created content that tanks, which is why we continue to look at our retention curve. Okay, here's another one. Here's another one. And for this, oh, sorry, 1 minute. You can see this, and that's the retention curve for this. Can you see what I'm showing you? Please indicate if this is clear enough for you to see. Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So you can see that this is a retention curve. Can you see the sharp drop at the beginning? Not a very bad sharp drop, but sometimes you look at your content and there is a straight line from that 100%. It just goes straight down. When you see something like that, do not attempt to scale that content. Do not spend money on it because it's just going to tank. You are wasting money. Don't try it. So, most ads did not fail because people didn't see them. They failed because people didn't know what to do when they saw it. The message was unclear, the offer was not clear, and the journey did not make sense. So the ad did what it was designed to do, which is expose the weakness of the content that you created. So what should you then do? What should you do? I've already mentioned one thing, that you should pay attention to your retention curve. But by the time you are looking at your retention curve, the deed is already done, isn't it? I mean, you've already created the content. So what this is telling you is, oh, your content is bad, go and do another one. So what should you do before you even run your ad or test your ad organically? So this is the point that we are making here now, that you should test your ad organically before you put money into it. It is what you have tested and that is working or that has worked organically that you should scale. You don't scale what has not worked organically. And the organic numbers don't have to be much. 100 views is enough to tell you whether you should scale an ad or not. 200 views is enough to tell you whether you should scale an ad or not. 300 views is enough to tell you whether you should scale an ad or not. So, as you go into 2026, meta ads will still work, but they will only work for businesses that respect what ads are intended to do. So I'm going to break this into 4 non-negotiables. 4 non-negotiables. And what are they? First, if you are taking notes, this is the time to start really taking notes. Number 1 is that your ad must have a clear role. Before you run an ad, ask yourself, what is this ad supposed to do? An ad can't do all 3. It must do one of these 3 things. Number 1, awareness. That is, the ad should help people know your brand. Please, awareness ads are not meant to sell. Some of us go ahead and create awareness ads. And after creating awareness ads, we want them to sell. You say, I ran an ad and nobody is buying. What kind of ad was it? What kind of content did you create? If you create awareness content, then don't expect it to sell, right? So we have awareness, we have nurture. And what do nurture content do? Nurture content help people to trust your brand. And then the final type of content is conversion. What does conversion content do? Conversion helps people to buy from your brand. So number 1, awareness ads help people know your brand. If you're asking yourself, what is an awareness content? An awareness content is, for instance, I'm selling this phone and I come and I say, my name is Abigail, I sell phones. If you want the best phones in Ibadan, come to my store. My store is here, here, here. That is not supposed to sell. because all I've done is to make people aware that I exist. Will some people come to my store? Yes. But when they come to my store, I will then have to show them the products and make them buy the products. Are you getting it? But all my ad has done is to make them aware that I exist. But if I start by saying, oh, my name is Abigail, I have a phone store in Ibadan, I sell phones. You see this phone here? It's a fantastic phone. This phone, I'm sorry, what exactly is this ad supposed to do? Number one, it becomes too long. Because by the time you go from awareness to trying to sell immediately, time is going. And who has time for that? So, your ad has to do one thing at a time. One thing at a time. If you are running an awareness ad, and that's mostly reels, because reels are good for awareness because they are shown to a lot of non-followers, then you create a reel that would make people aware of what you are doing. How you're going to go about doing that creative is another story entirely, which we are not treating here, how to make those creatives. But just be aware that awareness ads is to create awareness, is to help people know your brand. Then you have nurture. What does nurture do? Nurture helps people to trust your brand, and that's where education comes in. And you see a lot of nurture content on social media. What does that do? You're not coming to tell people, come and buy from me or this and that. No, you are giving people information that will help them. For instance, you say, did your phone just go blank? This is what you should do. That's a nurture ad. That's a nurture content. Did your phone just go blank? This is what you should do. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do that. And that's it. Follow me for more tips like this. People begin to trust you based on that type of content. Again, the way you will create nurture content as a person with a small number of followers is different from how you create nurture content as a person with a large number of followers. You can do carousels. The algorithm has begun to push carousels in recent times. So yes, you can do carousels. But carousels will probably not have as much reach as reels. So if you're, and this is where strategy comes in, you have to test to see what works. Test to see what works. If you create a reel, you check, how much reach did I get? Remember, not views, reach, not views. How much reach did I get? You might get 1,000 views and your reach is just 50. So always check your reach, not your views. Views don't matter. Reach does. So how much reach do I have on this reel? And then you now create a carousel and check how much reach did you get. Now, when you're judging the reach, how many people actually engaged? And the platform will tell you what people did when they saw your content. Did they follow your brand? Did they like it? And likes are very low level. Don't even count likes. Don't say, oh, I created content and I have 20 likes and you're happy. Do not be happy. Likes don't help anybody. What you should be concerned about is engagement. Who thought enough to engage with this content? And then conversion, helping people to buy from your brand. Remember, each creative should do one thing only. If it's creating awareness, then let it create awareness. If it's to nurture, let it nurture. If it's to convert, let it convert. As we proceed, just at the tail end of this webinar, I will show you how the platform uses all this content and what you should really do when you want to run an ad on the platform. But now we are talking about creating content organically and what you should do. Even with your organic content, Be aware that awareness, nurture, and conversion content should be created separately. Don't bring them all together. Don't put them all together. Don't mix them, one at a time. All right? So the number one thing, like I said, is that ads must have a clear role. When one ad tries to educate, build trust, and sell at the same time, it usually does none well. Doesn't do any of them well. Clarity is always the best option. Be clear. This is an awareness ad. This is a nurture content. This is a conversion content, organically speaking. Now, second, your creative must be intentional. You must be intentional with your creative. Creative is not about trends. Oh, everybody is doing talking head video. Let me go and do talking head video. No. Creative is not about virality. Oh, this is what everybody is doing and they are going viral. No. Creative is not about aesthetic. Oh, it has to be really cool. It has to look good. No. Creative is about alignment. And I'll give you an example of something that we have noticed. You see, if you're creating for Facebook, all these things looking very tush and beautiful, it doesn't work on Facebook. Facebook prefers authenticity, things that are natural. Just use your phone and do a video and post. Facebook is going to be very happy with you and they'll show it to people. But Instagram, it's all about being very tush, looking good, and all of that. So if you're creating content, ensure that your content fits the platform. Otherwise, you have a problem. So the question is, does the message you are sending, does it match the audience? That's where the alignment comes in. What are you talking about? And I'll give you an example with different people that we have worked with, because we've worked with different businesses, and we keep testing to see what works for them. More recently, there's a business that we are working with, and we started testing a certain kind of content with their audience. Audience that appeared to be dead suddenly came alive. Everybody started asking questions. Everybody started engaging. Everybody started coming with different things. The page that we even thought was dying came back to life because we created content that aligned with the audience. So ask yourself, what is my audience always thinking? What do they want? What do they want to know? And this doesn't have to be what any other person is doing. It has to be something that you have noticed, that a problem that you can solve, not a problem that somebody else is solving. Because a lot of us end up creating content that other people can solve, not that we can solve. So you're creative. It should not be about trends. You should not be thinking about going viral. And I'll give you this, say this to you. We created a content that went viral, very viral, and not one sale from that virality. Not one. So, but we have created content that only 100 people saw, and we got sales from it. So, it's not about virality. It's about connecting with the audience. It's about alignment. Does it match the offer? What I'm offering, does this create, does it match the offer? You can't be saying, oh, we offer premium service, and then you are not even looking premium. I don't understand. You are looking like you are selling to low-end people, and you are offering premium service. Please, don't do that. It won't sell. Your message does not align with your offer. Your message must align with your offer. You need to look like what you are selling. I mean, how would it seem to you that somebody who is telling you, oh, I have this house, it's 150 million, and then you look at the person, he doesn't even have, what would I call it, color, He doesn't even know how to match the color of his tie to his belt, to his shoe. He doesn't know how to wear the right shirts that will go with a particular tie. He doesn't know what's happening in the world of fashion. He's not looking put together. I'm not saying he's not even, I'm not even talking about rich, because rich is relative. He's not looking put together. And then he's telling you to bring your 150 million to buy a house from him. Brothers and sisters, would you? So you need to be very intentional about matching your offer to your content. Match your offer to your creative. When I say content, I mean creative. When I say creative, I mean content. If you are selling banjo, and dress like somebody who is selling banjo, wear the banjo cloth and say, banjo, come and buy. Discount sales. And you should look like a discount if you are selling discount sales. But if you are selling premium, then look premium. Match your content with your offer. Excuse me. And finally, in saying that your creative must be intentional, you should match your creative with the stage of awareness. Are you creating awareness to a cold audience? People who don't know you, they've never seen you before. The way you create awareness of a product or a service to a cold audience is different from the way you create awareness to an audience that already knows you, that we refer to as a warm audience. If people already know you, the way you talk to them is different from the way you talk to people who have never met you before. You remember there's this thing they say that first impressions matter. If a person knows, for instance, that I'm using myself as an example, if people know that naturally I don't wear makeup, they like me, I don't wear makeup, but they already know the value that I'm bringing. Whether I'm wearing makeup or not does not bother them. I can go with my bare face and talk to them and they will listen to me. But if I'm trying to make a good first impression with people I've never met before, I will take I will think about them and take the time to wear makeup like I'm doing today. I usually don't wear makeup. But because I'm going to be talking to people that I've never met before, I'm saying, okay, let me go ahead and wear makeup to make the good first impression. So next time when you see me without makeup, don't be afraid. So the point is that the way we send our message, the way we present our message differs based on the audience that we are trying to talk to. Sometimes we go above and beyond. We do things different from the way we will do it at other times because we know the audience and we are trying to match our awareness, our content to the awareness stage of the audience. So in 2026, if your content feels vague or generic, people will simply ignore it. Number 3, systems must exist before you increase spend in ads. What is a system? A system is a clear path to a decision. For instance, we said in the ads that we ran for this content, we said DM webinar. If you DM webinar, we'll send you the link. That's a clear path. You DM webinar, we'll send you the link. But we didn't just stop there. We now asked, would you like an audit? Some people say, yes, we would like an audit. We did not stop there. When it was 24 hours to the webinar, we sent you a message. It's 24 hours to the webinar. So, oh yes, that's true. I'm supposed to attend a webinar tomorrow because a lot of people may have forgotten. That was not all. 2 hours to the webinar, we sent another message. It's 2 hours to the webinar in case you've forgotten. Oh my goodness, yes, it's 2 hours. It didn't end there. 30 minutes to the webinar is 30 minutes to the webinar. That is a system. Now, somebody came to you to buy something. The person said, how much is this phone? You say, oh, the phone is 110,000 naira. And then the person didn't say anything again. You say, now consign them. And if you like, you come back. If you don't like, that one consign you. I'm not saying that the person may or may not buy. The person has kept quiet. You should have a system for following up. What is that system? Maybe after 24 hours, you go back to the person and say, a kind reminder, you have this, you requested this yesterday. Are you still interested in buying? Maybe the person keeps quiet. A few hours later, you can just go back to the person and repeat. I'm here again to ask whether you are interested in buying. I know it can be frustrating, but you are the one who wants to sell you. It's not me. And the thing is that when you ask a person over and over, maybe they missed the first one. You never know how their inbox is. You don't know what they are doing with their time. You do not even know whether something has happened that made them forget. So your messaging can be a reminder. If you send 2, 3 messages, that's a maximum. Maximum. Don't go and be harassing people with messages. Send a maximum of 3 messages. If after 3 messages the person does not respond, you leave them alone. Whenever they are ready, they can come back to you. But we have seen people who are warmed up because of your messaging. So you should have a system. What do you say? What do you say to them? What do they see? What action are you guiding them towards? That is what a system is. And you should create a system for your business if you have not already done so. And then the fourth is measurement. I've talked about this. What are you measuring? I've mentioned, forget about views, forget about likes. They are not important. What you should be measuring is conversations. How many people came to talk to you? Measure qualified leads. After they talked to you, are they interested? Measure your cost per decision. And that is, did they buy? So you run an advert and you have 20 people coming to ask questions about that product. Out of the 20, you have 10 who actually showed interest. So they are qualified leads. You can tell that they can buy this. Out of which only 5 eventually bought. So you see how it drops. 20, 10, 5. What does that mean? It means that if you had spent 50,000 naira on that advert, each of those 5 people cost you 10,000 naira, and that is the cost you should be checking. If they cost you 10,000 naira and they are not long-term, maybe the product you are selling is maybe 15,000 naira and they cost you 10,000 naira, can that be your profit? No. That means that you are losing, but you may not be losing. What if they become return customers? See? So those are the things that you measure as a business owner. Is this person going to be a return? Is it costing me so much? And if it is costing you so much to run ads, then what should you do? That is when you should not run ads. Ads is not for everybody. Ads may just be that you are wasting your money. So don't waste your money. What you should do instead is understand the kind of ads that work for you. For instance, awareness ads, they are pretty cheap. Awareness ads are very cheap. In 2026, you can run awareness ads for as low as 3,000 naira per day. And you will create a lot of awareness around your product. But you must have a system to nurture and convert. So all you will run is awareness ads. When people come into your DMs, then you nurture them, and then you convert them. So that will be your own system. But if you want to run sales ads, then be sure you have tested your content. And if you have tested and you run a sales ad and it's too expensive, then stop running ads. And this is something agencies will not tell you. They'll tell you, oh, spend more, spend more. No, do not spend more. Take a step back and go back to work on your creative. Remember, if your creative does not work organically, then it will not scale. So do not scale an ad that has not worked organically. Test before you scale. Test before you put in money. Because ads amplify reality. They do not rewrite it. If you are not ready, ads become expensive lessons instead of growth tools. We are so out of time. And so I'll have to stop here. I'll let Tega come in and we'll see if we have any questions that we can take during this webinar.
Thank you. Thank you very much for taking your time to talk to us. I can see the feedback we're getting. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So it's almost like you shouldn't even stop talking. Like we were ready for you to just go on. Perhaps we'll extend this some other time to go beyond an hour. But well done. You did absolutely great with your presentation. The strategies you have shared, I'm sure a lot of us have picked a number of things that they're going to learn. So we'll be looking in the chat now to see what messages you have dropped. If you have questions, put your questions there. I'm sure Ms. Abigail is already looking through and she'll be back in a minute to answer your questions. But before we close up the session for today, we'd like to commend you for joining us. It's our final webinar for the year. Our next webinar, be on the lookout. If you have not followed us on our socials, you can find us on all social media pages, platforms at Slvr Digitale. Just follow us as we continue to share strategies on into 2026. And then when we share tips, you can pick them up. And when we publicize our next webinar, we'll of course send you an email to let you know, but we'll publicize it as well, and you can share with others and invite them to join us. So your key takeaways for this business, you can continue to send in your questions for this webinar, rather. You can continue to send in your questions and then we'll address them. Ms. Abigail, are you seeing any questions you want to attend to quickly before we say goodbye?
Yes, I can see one or two questions, which I can take really quickly. Someone here is asking, what is organic content? That's Tega, Emmanuel. What is organic content? So when we say organic content, we mean content that you post on your page without an ad. So usually we have ads, which is you are putting money into it. And then we have organic content, which means that there's no money put into it. You are just posting on your page. So when we say test organically, we mean that before you use that content to run an ad, post it on your page and see how it does. That's where you test. Some of you might also have what Instagram refers to as test reels. Trial reels. So if you have trial reels, you as something on your page, not everybody has it, but if you check and you see that you have trial reels, you can also post your reel as a trial reel. That way, Instagram shows it to a lot more people, And when it is shown to those people, you can now go and look at your retention curve and see whether at least 20 to 30% of the people who saw that reel stayed for the first 3 seconds. If they did, then you can scale. Ideally, if you see 40 to 50%, that's fantastic. Just go ahead and promote or advertise with that content. But if you see anything below 20%, don't bother. Because what that means is that if 5,000 people, if you see below 20%, it means that if 500 people, or let's say 1,000 people see that reel, less than 200 will stop to watch. And I'm talking about stopping to watch. I'm not even talking about clicking to now take action, which will now lead to you talking to them and then further drop. You just see that you're wasting money. So there's no need for you to even try to scale or to put money when all you have is less than 20%. Okay, so I hope, Tega, your question is answered. Okay, we can't really, okay, I think I've done that. It's, how do I get there? Okay, so how do you get to the retention curve? So when you click on your page, you will see insights. Okay, so here you see insights just at the bottom there. You see insights. So when you click on insights, it takes you to that page, and then you see. Okay, so click on insights and it takes you there. All right, I hope that answers that question as well. Okay, so I should stop setting interests for my ads, right? Well, the thing about the new system, oh, I didn't get to talk about it because we went out of time. The thing about the new system that Meta is using right now is that your targeting does not matter. The algorithm will find your audience because the algorithm knows your audience. But how will the algorithm find your audience? You have to show what your audience is in your creative. So if I want to start an ad that is targeting specific business owners, maybe I want to talk to, let me use this as an example. I'm selling dresses and I want to talk to parents of the dress I want to sell is for children 2 to 3 years old. I'll just hold up the dress and say, do you have a child age 2 to 3? This dress is for them. Send us a DM and we'll tell you how much it is. That's your ad. That is all. What the algorithm does is that it has heard you say parents age 2 to 3. It's just going to find parents age 2 to 3 for you. Now, if you want to even go a step further, you can put the price right there because that disqualifies people who don't have money immediately. Maybe that dress is 20,000 naira. You say, do you have a child age 2 to 3? This 20,000 naira dress is just what your daughter needs for her next party. Send us a DM and this dress can be yours. The person who is watching, first of all, sees the dress, hears parents age 2 to 3, knows that the cost is 20,000 naira. If he doesn't have 20,000, legal. So you have disqualified people. You have just done everything with that ad. And that type of ad, the algorithm loves it. The algorithm will find you the right people, show the ad to the right people, and then you will get the right audience. So do interests really matter? Not really. Not in 2026. They don't really matter. If your creative has done the job it should do, then all you need to do is just place your creative and allow advantage audience to do the rest. Because it will do the rest. That's what it's meant to do. Yes. All right. I'm getting another question here. My question is about the four non-negotiables that was discussed. Please, how long should we spend on each stage before transitioning to the next? For instance, how long should we do awareness before moving to nurture content and finally conversation? Right. They run concurrently. And that's what I was going to talk about. The new, you may have heard of the Meta 12 ad system. You put 12 ads in one ad set. And this is an absolute game changer. I've used this system for business owners, for people who are actually selling things, and they've seen amazing results. In fact, for this webinar, that was what we used. We put 12 ads in one ad set. And then after 4 days, we killed the ads that weren't performing and left the ones that were performing. So you put your awareness, you put your nurture, and you put your conversion into the same ad set. Do you know the interesting thing? Meta would know how to line up those ads, especially if you're running it for a period of time. If you're going to run that for 1 month, this is what Meta will do. First, Meta will show the awareness ads to people. Meta will go back and show the nurture ads to the same person. And then Meta will go back and show the conversion ad to the same person. So you give Meta all the creatives that you have, and then Meta will help you to structure it and send it to the right people. That is why we say that the algorithm is now very smart. And so do your own job. Prepare the creative. Let the creative do what it's supposed to do. Let awareness be awareness. Let nurture be nurture. Let conversion be conversion. Because if you mix all together, you confuse the algorithm. The algorithm is not asking itself, should I do it as awareness? Should I do it? And when it shows as awareness to people who should be interested in awareness and they are not, it just kills your content. So use the right content, layer them. Usually we would say if you are posting 3 content in a week, Monday do awareness, Wednesday do nurture, Friday do conversion. If you're posting 3 a day, the first one do awareness, the next one do nurture, the next one do conversion. So stack the 3. It should be stacked. Don't do, oh, let me do awareness, oh, let me do nurture, oh, no. That's not what you do. You stack them together. All right, I hope that answers your question. For an event. Oh, if you're running, whatever you're running an ad for, if I'm running a campaign for an event, let's say Christmas fun fair, do I still not target? You don't target. Let your creative do the targeting. You're running a campaign for a Christmas fun fair. Who do you want to come? See, that's where the clarity comes. Who do you want to attend that event? Who is your primary audience? Are you trying to reach parents with children? Then call them out in your ad. The first thing that comes out of your mouth is, hey, do you want to go and spend this Christmas at XYZ place? We have this for you. It's all family fun. You have called out your audience. The algorithm has heard you. The algorithm do the rest. There is no need for, don't spend your money. There are some people who come and tell, oh, we'll help you find the target. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your money. Because if your creative does not target those people that you are sending Meta to, it's going to tank. And then you are going to waste your money. So spend your time. Use all your time to think about how to ensure that your creative is targeted at the right people. When you do that, then you will excel in 2026 when it comes to running ads. Thank you very much. I think you're 5 minutes above time, so thank you so much for all your questions.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you everyone for your questions, and we do hope you got satisfied answers. You can always reach out to us if you would like us to talk about questions you still have or may arise as you continue to work. But we'll be reaching out to you definitely after this webinar. We'll also share more details about what we did today with you so that you can go back and review them for your own benefits. We enjoyed our time with you. We hope to see you on our next webinar. Bye for now.
Ma, you're still waiting for me.
Yusuf, what's it?